Bumble is back, both as our podcast sponsor and to help you find love. Honestly, dating can feel intimidating, but Bumble is definitely making it easier. Sometimes all you need is a different perspective or a little bit of guidance, which is exactly why Bumble has launched its new coaching hub. This update offers support and tips from experts, and my friends are loving it so far. For the love of love, give Bumble another shot. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mini Scroll, the daily internet culture podcast bringing you the biggest stories from social media, the creator economy, and the digital space every Monday through Thursday and sometimes Fridays. I'm your host, Lauren Meisner, the founder of the youth digital media brand, Centennial World. Welcome back to Mini Scroll, everyone. Happy Monday. Okay, I'm really excited because we are embarking on a full Mini Scroll takeover by Bumble for the next month. You guys know how much these longer form partnerships mean to me because it means that I can keep the business going and I can get some sleep and I don't have to stress all the time about keeping the lights on and growing and how the team is going to get paid and all that kind of stuff. So I'm so grateful that we are going to have every single ad read for the next month taken because we have Brita, we have Bumble, we have Blackbird. Like, things are happening and it just makes me feel so good. We are ending this year in a good place. So I'm really excited for this. All right, before we get into it, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Please Spotify star rate us. We're trying to get to 1,000 Spotify star ratings by the end of the year, and we are getting there. You guys are pulling through. Oh, we did have a comment asking about buying us a coffee, how you do that. There's always just a link in the description. So if you just go to the description, you can click on the link and it will take you to our Buy Me a Coffee page. All right, let's get into the stories for today. So the first story that I have for you guys, of course, is that Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco are married. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco got married over the weekend. Their wedding took place on a private estate around the Santa Barbara, California area. Both bride and groom wore Ralph Lauren. Selena wore a custom silk halter neck gown, and there were a lot of floral details on her gown and on her veil. And then she seemingly changed into a second dress, which apparently was also Ralph Lauren, which looked pretty similar to her wedding dress, but instead of silk, it was more lacy and see-through and sexy, probably for reception. There were reportedly 170 guests at the wedding, including Taylor Swift, Steve Martin, Martin Short, Paul Rudd, Paris Hilton, Ed Sheeran, Ashley Park, star-studded. And on his Instagram, Benny Blanco said he married a, quote, real-life Disney princess. So cute. So the two have been together for, as far as we know, around 2 years. They confirmed their relationship in December 2023, and then they got engaged about a year later in December 2024. We don't really know many other details yet, but I'm so excited to see all the official photos if they share any more. They have shared a couple on their Instagram, but I'm really happy for her. I feel like Selena really needed this moment. And I mean, of course, there were people commenting apparently all over Justin Bieber's Instagram on the weekend being like, you lost her, you officially lost her. Guys, Justin has been married to Hailey Bieber for literally years. They have a child together. We need to let it go. Hopefully this actually ends the Jelena standum. Hopefully they can kind of just let this go now because it's been so long. They've been broken up for so long, and both of them now are married to completely other people. Okay, the next story that I have for you guys, this is some more relationship news. Brooke Schofield had her engagement party this weekend. It seemed to be at an LA restaurant, and fans noticed that her bestie and collaborator, Tana Mongeau, was noticeably absent from the event. So Brooke is engaged to Nepo baby Miles Canton. Miles McFly, I think, is his stage name, or his, I don't know. Can you call it a stage name if he doesn't actually do acting or singing or anything? I don't know. That's his public name is Miles McFly, but his real name is Miles Canton. The two got engaged in late June after around a year of dating. And I mean, I don't need to go into detail about why their relationship is controversial because I've covered it many times in the past on this podcast. But in short, fans are not super supportive of their relationship because there are allegations across the internet that Miles was in a relationship with a minor when he was in his mid to late 20s. Brooke has addressed these allegations. She's called them basically just Reddit rumors, and she denies them. So the two had their engagement party on the weekend, and like I said, fans noticed that Tana wasn't there. Instead, it seemed like Tana was in Hawaii with her friend Ashley. And, she's in Hawaii because she just bought a house there. Her boyfriend Makoa is from Hawaii, so she's been spending a lot of time there. And Tana actually addressed why she wasn't there. So it is confirmed she wasn't there. And she addressed why she wasn't. In a comment on a video by Spill Sesh, she wrote, "Construction on my place got moved. Brackets out of my control. I quite literally begged and pleaded and sobbed. I knew the internet was going to do this all week and I refused to engage with that, no pun intended. I am very happy for her and will be making it up." Brooke also commented on TikTok basically implying she was like okay with the reason why Tana wasn't there. There was no hard feelings. I mean, to be fair, people online are like, construction on your home, you couldn't have, I don't know, Ashley couldn't have just like stayed there to oversee the construction. There was no one else that could have helped you in this situation. You couldn't have just like flown in and out, like back for the engagement party. This is a big deal. I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, like an engagement party, it's not like she missed her wedding. People didn't really love that excuse, but at the end of the day, I guess like if Brooke is okay with it, then Brooke's okay with it. However, fans also noted that Brooke's other bestie, BB, was not in attendance, and Brooke has not addressed why BB wasn't there. So I did cover Brooke and BB's possible falling out a couple of months ago on the pod, but Brooke hired BB as an assistant on the canceled podcast tour for the European leg, I think it was. And Brooke talked on the podcast after the European tour about how that was like really bad for their friendship because they got in some fights and stuff like that. So she was kind of like airing their dirty laundry out on the pod, and it seemed to trigger a bit of a falling out between the two of them. At least that's how it appeared to fans. But speaking of canceled, today, right now, is actually the final episode of the podcast ever. So they'd been pretty tight-lipped on when the official final episode would be. And then Spill Sesh, again, Christy, she posted about like, when is the end of canceled yesterday? And then Brooke actually commented being like, it's tomorrow. And then, yeah, right now they've been posting over the past hour, like announcing that it's the final episode and they're wearing like full-on funeral clothes for the final episode. And yeah, fans are going to be really upset. I know that like people think their final, I don't know, I guess these last like 6, 7, 8 episodes since they've announced they're officially ending have kind of been low effort, I suppose, in the scheme of things. And it's really turned people off. But I do think tons of people will tune in for this episode and people will be very sad. Like this was a very, very popular podcast. Okay, and the last story that I have for you guys, I need to talk about how Mikayla Nogueira's luxury haul is going viral all over the internet for the wrong reasons. So beauty TikToker Mikayla Nogueira is under fire after posting a luxury shopping haul.
Oh, let's do my biggest luxury unboxing literally ever. Let's start with Prada.
She posted 2 videos of her unboxing purses, clothing, shoes from brands like Prada, Louis Vuitton, Miu Miu. And users online have totaled all of this up. It was apparently over $200,000 US dollars after tax. Okay, so we are no strangers to luxury hauls from influencers, right? Like this type of content used to be such a staple from like 2014 to like 2018, maybe 2019. But people are like, in the year of 2025, everything that we've been through, and the US specifically has been through over these past like 5 or almost 6 years, like read the room, diva, is how people feel about this. Now, I will say, we look at people like Morgan Stewart or like Wisdom K or even Becca Bloom who do these like luxury hauls and shopping content with designer items, and they don't face that same level of backlash. Obviously, seeing somebody drop, like I said, over $200,000 at once is a very different vibe than seeing people be like, oh yeah, I bought this like one shirt at Chanel or whatever. But regardless, I am sure that I have watched a Morgan Stewart haul that was over $200,000 before. I think the difference here is that luxury fashion, luxury accessories, even kind of like wealth influencers like Becca Bloom, I wouldn't necessarily call her like a fashion creator, but she's like a luxury creator. They've been able to kind of brand themselves as having a different level of appreciation for like fashion, art, the design, the craft, of a luxury good, whether it's authentic or not. Whether they actually love that or not, that's what they've been able to convey to us. And therefore, we see, I guess, their love of these brands, their love of luxury, and the content that goes along with it as more serious than Mikayla's. because it's from the perspective of like appreciating art and fashion and textiles and design and craftsmanship. It's almost like they're able to position their consumption of luxury items as like collectibles, like the same as like collecting art or something like that. Whereas, I think with Mikayla, it just feels like she's obsessed with like overconsumption and labels. And I don't know if that's necessarily a fair judgment because, I mean, we've been having the conversation that like buying designer in 2025 can very well mean that you are not getting high quality items, and therefore why else are you buying it if not for the label? So I'm not necessarily saying that's like a fair assessment or a fair judgment, but I'm just trying to figure out what the difference is between Mikayla buying all this stuff and showing it to us and the backlash she's getting versus other luxury creators, because we see those luxury creators all over the internet and people are like, yes, oh my God, I love this. And they really like appreciate the content that they make in different ways. I'm not saying that they never get backlash, like they definitely do. But yes, I think it's seen or perceived or received a little bit differently. So there are a lot of like hot takes about this. I think my favorite one is from fashion influencer Madeline White. She posted a video saying, we'll never see a luxury haul like Mikayla's from her because so many designer brands, basically what we were saying, are selling poor quality items now.
This is the reason that you will never see a Mikayla style mass luxury unboxing from me ever again. And it's because of shit like this, honey. I wore this one day on my wedding. I spent $10,000 on this bag.
Mikayla to me is so fascinating because she is like so 2015 coded. And I just feel like in the era of like TikTok and Gen Z becoming the most culturally relevant generation online, I actually can't believe Mikayla got so famous and successful because she is so like dated. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm not trying to be shady. I just feel like I look at the beauty gurus of like the OG YouTube beauty gurus, and all of them have had to adapt their style of makeup, their style of content. Despite having huge followings as culture shifted, they had to, adapt and evolve with culture to maintain relevancy. And it's so funny because Mikayla came out the gate, 2020 on TikTok whenever she started, and was just so like 2015. And she's just been able to like fully build this like massively successful career off of that exact vibe that the beauty gurus who established that exact vibe have actually had to evolve out of to maintain relevance. I find it so fascinating. And I don't think that Mikayla's audience are Gen Z. Like, I do think that they are probably like elder millennials, maybe even Gen X, but it's so interesting to me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Anyways, guys, that's it for Mini Scroll today. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Please Spotify star rate us, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.